All right, so I'm seeing a lot of people react to Zorhan Mamdani winning as the mayor of New York City and being elected. He hasn't even been sworn in yet, and people are freaking the blank out. Sorry, I was about to swear. But I'm not surprised, but still shocked. My heart tells me that people are naturally good. My mind tells me that you have to be careful. There are people who do bad things. There are people who unfortunately are racist. And there are people who don't want to see you happy and don't have the best intentions. But I was like, oh my God. The reaction and the villainization of Zoran is just completely unhinged. So, some of the comments I'm seeing online are people saying, he's not going to be sworn in as mayor, right? I'm like, okay, let me read further. And they're saying, so apparently his citizenship is not legit. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is another Obama scandal. But this time, yes, Zoran was born outside the country. He is a citizen. He does qualify to become mayor. And they're starting with this scandal. I was like, they're pulling out the old freaking playbook. Don't they have any new material? And then they say, a lot of his promises that he made on the campaign, he's now backtracking. He said that grocery stores will be free, and now they're not going to be free. I'm like, you never said they'd be free. Oh, God. Like, at least if you're going to complain about something he actually said. It's instead of making up lies. It's really interesting. I mean, okay, Donald Trump, I don't agree with him. He's done lots of batshit crazy things. And I've read things and I'm like, let me double check if that's true because it seems like it would be true, but I found out it's fake, right? I was like, we already have enough things that are true about Donald Trump not to go making crap up. But with Zoran, you see that they're calling him a communist. And they're saying that he's going to destroy this city and basically the country. And when you look at his policies that they're freaking out about, you can definitely tell that this has corporations, the rich, and our mainstream media written all over it. They're trying to do this propaganda where they're trying to make him out to be this really radical. And the radicalness that they're calling out is him saying, those taxpayer dollars that you're spending, we're going to have free transportation. Oh my gosh, that's radical, guys. Oh my God, what are we going to do? We're going to control rent in this city, which is just the most expensive city, and we need to get it under control. Oh my gosh, guys, what are we going to do? We're going to have government run grocery stores and food deserts so people can actually afford to eat. Oh my God, guys, this is ridiculous. And then we are going to increase taxes on the rich by 2%. And people are going batshit crazy. And I'm not saying everyone, right? Because obviously Zoran won, so there are a majority who support him. But these people look at those policies and say, this man is radical. Because we have been conditioned by the rich and these corporations to say when our own taxpayer dollars are going back to us, to see it making a difference in our everyday lives, we're conditioned to get pissed off. I mean, look at student loan forgiveness. When under Biden, he was trying to do that. Everyone was freaking out, saying, I paid for student loans. I was like, okay, yes, I understand that it could be frustrating, but let's not crap on other people actually getting help and relief. We should be happy that fellow citizens are getting help. We should be happy with that. And yes, eventually I would like policies that impact me too. But if I see the government actually going to help people, I'm like, oh my God, yes. People in Europe look at this and they're like, Zoran's not radical. I mean, he's just proposing that the government actually work for the people. Like, how bad do you have it there, America? And you see people saying, like, the argument of, like, against universal health care coverage, right? is that, people in Canada have also said and posted, like, it's not that great over here. The insurance is actually pretty crappy. Well, let me tell you this. I have private health insurance, and I pay for it to get denied. In fact, besides routine visits, which are just like physicals where they just type on the computer and don't really do much, they deny everything else. I had pain. I went to the doctor. He recommended I get a scan. They denied it 4 times, and I still haven't had it. But I continue to pay my premiums, right? So that's my insurance. I am in the position that I know if I get sick and I need to be transported to the hospital, I'd rather have a family member drive down to me where I have to wait for an hour to get here and then have them drive me to the hospital instead of taking ambulance, which I won't be able to afford even though I have health insurance. It's really ridiculous. And, I have had people who, unfortunately, the health insurance has not covered them through my employer, and they've unfortunately had life-altering medical issues because of them not being able to get the care that they need. So, yeah, I'm fighting for crappy insurance. I think not. Everyone else wants to go, look, see, it's not good. Okay. Just because someone else is saying that their insurance is not good doesn't mean that we can't introduce something similar and make it even better. Have you thought about that? And I'm sorry to sound like so bitchy, but it's really upsetting when I see us shooting ourselves in our own foot, right? Like, it's me, like, all of a sudden saying, I bought a house, and then they go, you know what, Matthew, we're going to do a little bit of things to help you out. You know that electricity bill? You're going to get some help there. And everyone else going, well, this is not fair. I was like, shut up. I'm actually paying taxes, and the government's actually going to help me, and I'm getting something out of it. But nobody freaks out when, Trump gave those, well, actually it wasn't Trump, right? Congress signed for the stimulus, and it was just to stimulate the economy. It wasn't really, yes, we got money, we got that, but everyone held on to that. But at the same time, they get upset about other people getting things. It's really weird, their logic. I don't understand it. So it's so interesting that a lot of people are villainizing Zorhan, saying that he's a radical, he's a communist, he's going to destroy this country. Somebody who's proposing all these really plans to help people. And these are the same people who have villainized the word empathy. These are the same people who call people on the left radicals and say that they are violent. The same people who want gun control, the same people who fight for equality, they're the ones who we should be concerned about? That makes no sense. But the people who say that they're going to shoot people, that they're macho, that they storm the Capitol, the same ones that purchase guns and take pictures of them with guns, they're the ones that are not going to be the ones who are going to commit crimes. And believe me, I know that not all people who own guns, not all people who are MAGA are bad, okay? I don't want to fall into the narrative of just like labeling people into boxes and putting them in those boxes, but I will say this. For the politicians, the MAGA politicians, yeah, I feel that's fair game. It's just really crazy. And there's people, by the way, who are MAGA who, yes, they fall right into the stereotype. So I'm not denying that. But right now, just to see the reaction, I just went online. I saw these 2 women. They were talking and they were saying, like, I fought for everything I have. Okay, that's nice. But you're saying that the person on food stamp hasn't fought with that they for what they have either? You don't know their story. They still have to pay rent, right? That's not free. They still have to work. They don't get their entertainment paid for, right? When you're older and you're going for like Medicaid, or because you still can qualify for Medicaid, you have to jump through hoops and hurdles. When you're applying for food stamps, you have, and SNAP benefits, right? Food stamp, SNAP, same thing. You have to go through hoops and hurdles to maintain those benefits and to even get them. It's not a great feeling to be watched and to constantly prove why you deserve help. So I don't know why everyone thinks that it's such a great thing, right? I don't understand why we villainize people who are in situations where they need this help. I don't understand why we don't actually go after corporations who don't treat their workers right and don't pay them a living wage. I'm looking at you, Walmart. I'm looking at you, Amazon. I'm looking at Target. I'm looking at all the fast food chains, McDonald's, Burger King, right? Taco Bell, KFC, Popeyes. You can tell I eat out a lot. But why are we, not angered? I'm sorry, that was way too close. But why are we not angered by these corporations getting all this? Like I said before, and I'm not even sure if I said it in this video, but corporations, rich, upset about paying 2% more, and we pay so much more in the tariffs, right? Went to Primark with my mom. I shop there. It's a, clothing store. They have their own brands in the store. They're cheaper. But now it's like with the tariffs, you're paying at like regular price. I saw that the clothing went up 2% or $2, not 2%, more than 2%. In some instances, it's 20%. I'm paying more in the price increase and percentage wise than what the rich would be paying for, and they're complaining at 2% increase in taxes. My mom showed me something at Primark. She goes, "Oh, look, I got this for $6 before. It was $8 last time it came, and now it's $12." I was like, that's a 50% increase. Ridiculous. It's just, it really is frustrating to see how we attack each other. And we're all in the same boat. We're all fighting for what we have, right? I mean, you go to that person's house who you were complaining about, and you look and you say, wow, they're living here and this place is dilapidated. I hope I said that right. But it's falling apart. And I'm upset about them and saying they have it made. Now, I'm a person who, listen, I'm not touting myself because I could do so much more. Even though, yes, I'm struggling paycheck to paycheck. But I remember doing Adopt a Family. And I went to this family's house and I went to where they live, right, to drop off presents. And, they were living in a place that's falling apart. And I felt for them. I was like, they're not living in the best neighborhood. This place is obviously not being maintained by the landlord. And these are the people that are being villainized. These are the people that you're jealous over. Geez, give me a break. A story that my mom experienced was that her and my father had gone through, their issues, and they were not together anymore, separated. And my mom had worked really hard to purchase a car. She got paid maybe like $100 and something every week. She saved up her money. My mom could stretch $1. And she was able to pay her car in cash. So she goes to social services and they see her car parked out in the parking lot. And they're like, do you really need help with a car like that? Mind you, they don't know that my mom worked for that. And two, that was before she reached the hardship that she currently has. But people, for some reason, all they want to do is just judge someone. I don't know why we can't just be happy for somebody. We can't just be happy that somebody's getting the help they need. Why does it always have to be that we should be getting something too? Right? Eventually, yeah, we can have stuff, right? And I do believe this. We have been so conditioned that, for example, Joe Biden, and I promise I'm going to make this quick, where we got that one prescription and there was about a few more. And we were like, oh my God, we're getting something. We're getting prescriptions lowered in Medicare, yay, right? Which impacted for my family, but it wasn't going to make a difference for me, let's say necessarily, but I was happy about it. But I was like, we're happy over scraps in the sense that the government and these politicians could do so much more, but they refuse because corporations have their pockets lined. And that's why you see, like with the FCC and the decisions that they recently made under Donald Trump to reverse the positive that was coming out under Lena Khan's leadership, where you could just cancel a subscription with just a click. Now, that rule's gone, where there was a limit on how much a bank or others, like credit companies, could charge you for overdraft fees. There was a limit. That's gone now. So we've just seen corporations just get more and everyone be silent, and we're fighting with each other instead of really focusing on who's to blame and who's responsible for the conditions that we're living in, which is the ultra wealthy and corporations. And we're upset about Zorhan Mamdani winning as mayor of New York City. And he hasn't even started yet. He has not villainized people like Donald Trump did in his campaign. He has not said bad things about people. And this is the person that we're so afraid of. No, I'm not going to fall into the trap. And I hope that people start to wake up and realize. And I really hope that Zorhan does the things that he says he's going to do, because that'll be a disappointment. I am not going to stand 100% behind, let's say a person and defend them if they're making mistakes in office. But it's really hard pressed to find a person who disagrees and goes against Donald Trump. Like, he could do whatever he wants and there's always excuse for him, no matter what. But yet, they'll attack someone without having all the information. And in fact, they'll make up things. But anyways, that's my thoughts on Zorhan winning. I'm just completely dumbfounded by the reaction by some people. I was like, listen, you want to talk about policy? If you have legitimate talking points, I'm willing to talk and listen, but I'm not going to talk to you if you're just hating a person just because they're Muslim. All right? I'm not. So that's what I have to say. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe. And again, no matter if you agree with me or not, I truly want you to succeed. I want you to prosper. I want you to be happy. I am not jealous if you achieve something. Sure, I could be, a little bit envious, right? I was like, wow, that person's doing that. That motivates me to fight even harder for me to achieve my dreams. But yeah, I really do hope that you get what you want. So, God bless, and if you don't believe in God, I truly hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.